Okay, if you watched the YouTube on is sorted, the approach taken for is anagram is very similar. For is anagram, the inputs are two strings, words, and two words are anagrams of each other if they consist of exactly the same letters, but perhaps in a different order. And so the first function uses a top-down approach. And what is done here is that we take the first string, and if I lst a string, I get a list that is all of the characters in the string. So, for example, L1 is equal to list of, gives me that. And so this gives me the list rendition of the first string, and then I do a sort method on that list. L1.sort will put that in ascending order. I do the same thing now with the second string. And so after these two lines of code are done, I have L1 and L2 that are sorted. Now, if these two strings are anagrams of each other, then the two sorted strings will be equal to each other. And so I can just return L1 equals L2. If these two are indeed equal, the two strings are anagrams, otherwise not. So the second function does exactly the same thing. It just does it in a bottom-up way. And I call it is anagram 1, just to distinguish it from this. And so what I do here is I have two loops I go through. And first of all, I go for letter in S1, and for each letter in S1, I ask whether the number of letters in S1 is not equal to the number of letters in S2. If that's true for any letter in S1, I return false and I'm done. If you think about it now, I also have to do a for loop in S2 to make sure that these really are anagrams of each other. And so I have a second loop that cycles through S2 but then has the same inequality. And so if I can get through these two loops and I never get a false statement, it means that the letter counts for, they all contain the same letters, and the letter count for any particular letter is the same in S1 as it is for S2, and therefore it's an anagram and I return true. And so you can see over here I've run this with the sample code on the bottom. These two first examples are anagrams of each other, and so I get a true printout from is anagram and is anagram 1 respectively. The second two strings, tips and stop, are not anagrams. They do not consist of the same letters, and so you can see they both give false. And so that's basically it's the same approach as was used in is sorted.